Liam saves the day in the bold and the beautiful recap for July 8, 2025. We begin with Luna, Lisa Yamada, who has the gun pointed at Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. Luna is starting to see that her plan isn't going to work and she's freaking out, which gives Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, a chance to jump in and wrestle the gun from her. Steffi watches in horror as the gun goes off and Sheila falls to the floor. Luna raises the gun again at Steffi. Finn, Tanner Novlin, can't believe Lee, Naomi Matsuda, thinks there's a chance Luna could have led a different life despite having Sheila's blood. Lee thinks it was Poppy's influence that led Luna down this path more than anything. Lee says she's dangerous, and Finn agrees that this is why he has to keep Luna away from his family at the office. Hope, Annika Noel, checks in with Liam, Scott Clifton, to make sure he arrived at the beach house safely. He teases her for being worried, but she can't help it. Liam appreciates the concern. Hope hates the situation he's in and she doesn't want to lose him. Liam knows he's been handed a sentence, but he's trying to hold on to every day he has left. Hope wants to think he has plenty of time left and he assures her that he's not going anywhere. He loves her and is so glad that she's checking up on him and he wants to think he'll be there for as many tomorrows as possible. She makes sure he's up for a playdate with Beth and he is. As she hangs up, Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, walks in and knows she's upset. He hugs her after learning she was on the phone with Liam. She's so afraid of thinking he won't be there forever. Li hopes that Luna will use her second chance wisely. She gets a page and has to leave. Finn thanks her for the talk. Once she's gone, Finn sends a text to Steffi to see how things are going. Now that he's alone though, he plays the message from Sheila. He rolls his eyes at first, but when she says it's about Luna, his expression changes. Steffi tries to help Sheila, but when she moves to call 911 to save her grandmother, Luna tells her to put the phone down. Luna says this is all Steffi's fault and she has to figure out what to do next. Hope tells Carter that she doesn't know how to accept this is happening to Liam. He thinks she will find her own path to process it, but she's not sure how to do that. She knows she needs to be Beth's source of strength, and Carter says he'll be there to help. He knows Hope isn't ready to say goodbye yet. Finn listens to the messages about Luna's anger towards Steffi. She wants Finn to be careful. He tries to call, but there's no answer. However, Liam calls and says he can't get in touch with Steffi. Finn reveals that he can't reach Steffi either, and he got several messages from Sheila trying to warn them about Luna. When Liam asks where Steffi is, he realizes he's closer than Finn is. Sheila begs Luna to allow Steffi to call for help, but Luna says Sheila was shot in the foot and isn't going to die. Luna keeps going on and on about how Steffi won't allow her in her life. She asks what would happen if she couldn't see Ridge, but when Steffi points out that she never tried to kill her father's wife. But Luna won't budge. She keeps talking about how Finn could have saved her from her childhood, and now she knows who her father is and she can't be with him. Steffi feels bad for her, but after the crimes she committed she can't. All Luna wants is some access, but Steffi reminds her that she's asking with a gun in her hand. Hope tells Carter that she's grateful to have this time with Liam, but she hates knowing that there's only so much time left to make memories with Beth. Carter tells her that Liam would tell her to think of the time they had together instead of dwelling on what is coming. Hope says he should walk Beth down the aisle and see his grandkids. Carter agrees it's not fair. He hates this for them, saying they deserve more time. She thanks him. She tells Carter that even in the face of death, all he's thinking about is taking care of everyone else. Sheila begs Luna to put the gun down and to stop threatening Steffi. Luna swears she's not threatening Steffi, she's just trying to get her attention. Steffi says Sheila is on the ground bleeding because of Luna. She's already killed people, she tried to kill Steffi and now she shot Sheila. Steffi feels terrible about her life, and maybe her life would have turned out differently. Luna thinks Steffi understands, but Steffi says she can never be around them. Face it, it's over, Steffi says. Luna stops crying and says she's never going to see Finn again. She points the gun at Steffi, but Liam walks in and tries to grab the gun. As they fight, the gun goes off and Liam staggers backward. He's been shot in the chest. Hope says the hardest part is not knowing when things are about to take a turn. She says Liam told her he'll be sticking around for as long as he can, but she knows he doesn't have that kind of control. She wants to believe it so bad that they won't lose him. Steffi tries to help Liam, but Luna says this is all her fault. Sheila makes a noise and Liam seizes the opportunity, grabbing the gun from Luna. The exertion, however, proves to be too much and Luna can see it. She starts taunting him, calling him a coward as she tells him to pull the trigger. Steffi and Sheila watch as Liam says he's a dead man anyway, and he pulls the trigger. He falls backward as Luna collapses on the ground. Finn rushes in and asks if Steffi is okay. She tells him to help Liam. He sees the gun and asks if Sheila shot her, but Steffi says it was Luna. Finn looks tormented as he looks from Luna to Sheila, who tells him to help Liam. Liam is in shock, babbling as he passes out, turned into a violent storm of blood, betrayal, and heartbreak as Luna pulled the trigger, not once but twice, and shattered the lives of everyone in her path. What began as a peaceful afternoon quickly spiraled into chaos as the bold and the beautiful episode airing Tuesday, July 8th, unfolded with explosive drama. The beach house, once a sanctuary for tender moments between lovers and family, became the heart of a horrifying showdown where Liam Spencer, Sheila Carter, and Steffi Forrester faced the full force of Luna Nozawa's unraveling mind. In a day full of emotional turbulence, gunfire, and shocking confrontations, everything changed. Lives hung in the balance. Relationships faced irreparable damage, and Finn was forced to reckon with the disturbing truth about his daughter. Liam Spencer, who had been on the phone with Hope Logan just moments earlier, stepped into a nightmare when he arrived at the beach house. Earlier, Hope had reached out with a heartfelt check-in, and Liam, unaware of the impending chaos, assured her he'd be roller skating with their daughter Beth the next day. That small, sweet moment between exes served as a tragic reminder of the fragile beauty of ordinary life, a life Liam was about to risk in an act of selfless bravery. Inside the beach house, Luna had completely lost control, her eyes wild with fury and confusion. She pointed a loaded gun at Steffi Forrester. A woman once seen as reserved and intelligent had transformed into someone nearly unrecognizable. Unhinged and vengeful, the situation escalated even before Liam arrived. In a shocking turn, Luna had already fired a bullet at her own grandmother Sheila Carter, striking her in the foot. Even Steffi, who had long viewed Sheila as dangerous, was floored by Luna's actions. The sight of Luna turning on her own flesh and blood stirred something deeper in Steffi. Fear, not just for her own life, but for Luna's broken soul. But Luna wasn't interested in remorse or explanations. In her fractured logic, Steffi was the root of everything that had gone wrong. Luna's words were venomous, blaming Steffi for corrupting her relationship with Finn, for standing in the way of her dreams, and for pushing her over the edge. With each accusation, Luna's grip on the weapon tightened, her anger seething beneath the surface like a volcano ready to explode. Steffi tried to reason with her, to talk her down, but Luna was already too far gone. Just then Liam arrived and opened the door to this nightmare. In a matter of seconds, he assessed the danger and lunged for the weapon, hoping to disarm Luna before tragedy struck. But the struggle didn't go in his favor. Amid the scuffle, a shot rang out, and it was Liam who took the bullet. It hit him square in the chest, sending him crashing to the floor, blood soaking through his shirt as Steffi screamed in horror. Luna, rather than fleeing or surrendering, stood there unmoved. She looked at Liam's crumpled body with cold detachment, once again blaming Steffi for the blood on the floor. Sheila, despite her injury, made an unexpected move that would change everything. While clutching her bleeding foot, she noticed Liam still had a faint grip on the gun. In a split-second decision, she caused a distraction, knocking over a nearby table full of art supplies. The crash startled Luna just enough. Liam, fueled by adrenaline and the will to protect Steffi, took the chance. He pulled the gun up and aimed it at Luna. The two locked eyes. Luna scoffed, taunting Liam, accusing him of being too weak to pull the trigger. Her voice was mocking, almost triumphant, as if daring him to shoot. But when Luna took one step too many, lunging toward him with fury still in her eyes, Liam fired. The bullet struck Luna in the abdomen and she dropped to the ground, gasping in pain, her expression suddenly shifting from rage to disbelief. At that very moment, Finn arrived at the scene, and what he saw was nothing short of a living nightmare. Blood covered the floor. Liam was unconscious. Luna was groaning in agony, curled up near the couch. Sheila was wounded but alert, and Steffi looked shell-shocked, her hands trembling as she clutched her phone to call 911. For a fleeting second, Finn's instinct blamed Sheila. Her history, her darkness, it was too easy to believe she had caused the carnage. But Steffi, still catching her breath, quickly corrected him. It was Luna, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Luna did this. The words didn't register at first. How could his daughter, the young woman he had welcomed into his life and tried to protect, be capable of such horror? Sheila, bleeding and broken but lucid, backed Steffi's claim. She urged Finn to focus, to help Liam before it was too late. That desperate plea, coming from someone like Sheila, hit Finn hard. Without hesitation he dropped to his knees beside Liam, checking his pulse, the wound, and begging him to stay awake. "Stay with me, Liam. Come on, stay with me, man." Back at the hospital earlier, Finn had spoken with Lee about Luna's growing instability. He wanted answers, needed them. What could have pushed Luna this far? Lee, calm yet visibly distressed, insisted Luna wasn't born with darkness in her. She wasn't evil by nature. "She's not like Sheila," Lee had said. But Finn challenged her. Luna carried Sheila's DNA, didn't she? That same volatile blood that had haunted him all his life. But Lee didn't back down. "You have her DNA too," she reminded him, "and look at the man you've become." Still, Lee didn't spare Poppy from blame. In her eyes, Poppy had failed Luna, shielding her from consequences, coddling her emotions, and allowing resentment to fester. "This didn't come from nowhere," Lee had warned. "This is years in the making." The conversation lingered in Finn's mind as he raced to the beach house, and now, looking at Luna bleeding and broken on the floor, those words echoed louder than ever. Meanwhile, back at Forrester Creations, Hope Logan was unaware of the chaos unraveling near the shoreline after her call with Liam. She had felt an ache in her heart she couldn't quite explain. Carter Walton noticed her discomfort and offered a moment of comfort. She admitted she missed the simplicity of family time, the sense of security she once had with Liam. Carter listened, offering reassurance without judgment. But the peaceful moment was a stark contrast to what her former husband was experiencing, fighting for his life in a blood-soaked beach house. As emergency sirens grew louder in the distance, Steffi finally managed to provide the address to 911. Her voice cracked, her hands stained with blood, but she remained calm. Finn was doing everything he could to keep Liam breathing, talking to him, coaxing him back, refusing to let him slip away. Sheila, strangely maternal despite the chaos, reached over to apply pressure to Luna's wound, whispering to her granddaughter, "Stay with me. Don't leave me like this." There was no telling who would survive, who would recover, or how the families involved would ever move on from the trauma of this day. Liam, unconscious but still alive, had risked everything for Steffi. Luna, lost in her own delusions, now faced not just physical consequences but the full weight of the law. Sheila, for once, wasn't the villain, but a victim caught in the crossfire. And Finn stood at the center of it all, forced to confront a devastating truth. His daughter was capable of the very violence he had spent his whole life avoiding. As the medics rushed in, Steffi was pulled aside and wrapped in a blanket. Her eyes were empty, her soul numb. This wasn't just a home invasion or a scuffle gone wrong. This was the moment that changed everything. And as the night sky enveloped Los Angeles, one thing became chillingly clear. No one would ever look at Luna Nozawa the same way again.